Yo, what is good? Welcome to my channel where we break down the tech you need to crush it in 2025. I am Yong, and today we are diving into something super exciting for robotics and edge AI startups, picking the right AI cloud platform. Whether you are building autonomous drones, warehouse robots, or running real-time AI on edge devices, you need a cloud that is fast, affordable, and ready for your wild ideas. This is going to be a 20-minute deep dive, so grab a coffee and let us talk GPUs, latency, and why your choice of cloud can make or break your startup. Section 1. Why AI cloud platforms matter for robotics. Alright founders, let us set the stage. Robotics and edge AI are not your average app workloads. You are dealing with physical AI. Think real-time control for robot arms, vision inference for self-driving cars, or even on-device LLMs for a chatbot on a delivery bot. These workloads need serious compute power, crazy low latency, and cloud platforms that do not choke when you are simulating a fleet of robots. Why does the cloud matter? Because you are not just training AI models, you are deploying them on real hardware in real time, maybe across the globe. You need GPUs that scream, edge compute that is snappy, and pricing that does not bankrupt your startup. Plus, if you are in Europe, you have got GDPR breathing down your neck. So, we are comparing the big dogs, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and some spicy up-and-comers like Nebius, CoreWeave, and Lambda. Let us break it down. Section 2, GPU and accelerator power. First up, raw compute power. If your robots are running vision models or training reinforcement learning, you need top-tier GPUs. Here is the deal. AWS is rocking NVIDIA A100 on P4D instances. Think 8 times 40 gigabyte A100s for about $32.77 an hour. Want the shiny new H100s? Their P5 instances with 8 times 80 gigabyte H100s will set you back $98.32 an hour. They have also got Trainium and Inferentia chips for custom AI workloads. Azure is not slacking either. They have got A100s, H100s, and even H200s in their ND series VMs. A single A100 80 gigabyte costs around $3.67 per GPU hour. Oh, and they just dropped NDGB 200 V6 VMs with NVIDIA's Blackwell GPUs, cutting edge stuff. Google Cloud brings A100s and H100s on A2 and A3 VMs. A single H100 80 gigabyte runs about $11.06 an hour. They have also got TPUs, Trillium V6 for those who want Google's custom silicon. Nebius, based in Europe, is a dark horse. They have got H100s for $2.95 an hour and H200s for $3.50, way cheaper than the hyperscalers. They are also teasing Blackwell GPUs soon. CoreWeave and Lambda Labs are GPU beasts too. CoreWeave's 8 times H100 setup is about $49.24 an hour, while Lambda's 8 times H100 is a steal at $23.92 total. Both offer bare metal servers, so you get every ounce of performance. Here is the kicker. Specialized clouds like Nebius, CoreWeave, and Lambda often get new GPUs faster and at 30 to 50% lower cost than AWS or Azure. If you are a startup burning through compute, that is huge. Plus, all these platforms have fast interconnects like NVLink or InfiniBand for GPU clusters. Think 3.2 terabits per second on Google's A3 Ultra. Your models will fly. Section 3, latency and edge compute. Now let's talk latency. Think Figure AI, Boston Dynamics, or Robot Dogs. These machines don't just process data, they move through the world. That means timing is everything. If a robot hesitates even 100 milliseconds before reacting, it could trip, fall, or crush something. So they need to think and act instantly. That's where edge inference comes in. Instead of sending sensor data to the cloud and waiting for a response, physical AI systems run their models locally, right inside the robot. They typically use powerful edge chips like NVIDIA, Jetson Orin, or even custom AI chips. Latency, we're talking 10 to 30 milliseconds. Fast enough for things like walking, grabbing objects, or balancing. Cloud just can't compete with that kind of speed when milliseconds matter. Tesla does all the inference locally using its own chips. First with NVIDIA, and now with their in-house full self-driving chip and the new Dojo supercomputer for training. Why? Because if you're driving at 60 miles per hour, you can't wait for a server in Oregon to tell you to brake. That round trip to the cloud, it's hundreds of milliseconds, maybe 1 second, way too slow. Tesla uploads massive amounts of driving footage to the cloud for labeling and training new models. Same with Figure AI or Boston Dynamics. They might use the cloud to improve models, push updates, or run analytics, but not for real-time decision making. You just can't trust the cloud with your balance, your brake pedal, or your robot's next step. Cloud AI, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, is mostly for training and post-processing. Section 4, pricing. Don't get burned. Alright, let's talk money. Cloud compute can eat your budget faster than a swarm of delivery bots. Here's the pricing lowdown. AWS P4D with 8 times A100S is $32.80 an hour. P5 with H100 SaaS is $98.30. Data egress, about 9 cents per gigabyte. Inbound's free though, which is nice. Azure, a single A180 gigabyte is $3.67 an hour. H100's around $6.98. Egress in Europe is cheap, 2 cents per gigabyte between regions, 5 cents to other continents. Google Cloud, H100S are $11.06 an hour. A100S pricier at $20.40. Egress is 11 to 12 cents per gigabyte, but you get a few gigs free. Nebius H100S at $2.95 an hour, H200S at $3.50. They slash prices for big commitments, so negotiate if you're scaling. CoreWeave, 8 times H100S for $49.24 total, or $6.15 per GPU. Lambda, 8 times H100S for $23.92, 8 times A100S for just $10.32. That's startup friendly. Here's the hack. Process data at the edge or in region to cut egress costs. And always lock in reserved instances or committed contracts for big savings, especially with Nebius or CoreWeave. Section 5, regional coverage and compliance. If you are operating in the United States or Europe, data sovereignty is a big deal. Nobody wants a lawsuit over GDPR. Here is the scoop. AWS has regions everywhere. United States, Ireland, Frankfurt, Paris, you name it. They have GovCloud for United States government stuff and full GDPR compliance. Azure is a compliance beast with regions in the United States, European Union, United Kingdom, and even sovereign clouds for Germany and China. Google Cloud has European Union zones in Belgium, Germany, Finland, and more, plus their distributed cloud for on-premises needs. Nebius is European Union based with a massive 60,000 GPU data center in Finland and new sites like Paris. GDPR is their bread and butter. CoreWeave is United States heavy but expanding to the United Kingdom, Norway, and Spain for European Union compliance. Lambda is mostly Texas based, so if you need European Union regions, you will need to ask their sales team about GDPR. Hyperscalers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud are your safe bet for global coverage and compliance. Nebius and CoreWeave are awesome for European Union startups, but Lambda needs a bit more diligence. Section 6, Robotics Tools and Developer Goodies. Now, the fun part, tools and ecosystems. You want a cloud that makes building robots easy, right? AWS RoboMaker is a dream for ROS developers. It's got gazebo-based simulation, fleet management, and integrates with IoT Greengrass and SageMaker for ML. Plus, AWS Activate offers up to $100,000 in credits for startups, $300,000 if you're AI focused. Azure doesn't have a dedicated robotics platform, but their IoT hub, Azure Percept Vision Kits, and Spatial Anchors SDK are great for robotics. Microsoft for Startups throws in credits too. Google Cloud has Cloud Robotics Core for ROS orchestration and Kubernetes Engine for scaling AI. Their startup program can net you $350,000 in credits for AI projects. Nebius, CoreWeave, and Lambda are more bare bones. They give you raw GPU power and standard ML toolchains like TensorFlow or ROS, but you're building your own robotics stack. CoreWeave's Kubernetes service is slick for custom workflows, though. The hyperscalers win for robotics-specific tools and community support. But if you're a lean startup with a custom ML pipeline, Nebius or Lambda's raw compute might be your vibe. Section 7, how to choose. So how do you pick? It's all about trade-offs. Need enterprise-grade support and global reach. Go with AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. They've got the tools, regions, and compliance lockdown. On a budget but need bleeding-edge GPUs, Nebius, CoreWeave, or Lambda will save you cash and get you H100s or H200s faster. Edge AI and low latency your thing, cloud AI for training and post-processing, and local GPU for edge. EU startup worried about GDPR. Nebius or any hyperscalers EU regions have you covered. My advice, prototype on a specialized cloud like Lambda for cheap compute, then scale with AWS or Azure for their robotics tools and edge options. And don't sleep on startup credits. $100,000 to $350,000 can go a long way, and that's the rundown, founders. Building a robotics or edge AI startup in 2025 is all about picking the right cloud to match your tech and budget. Whether it's AWS's RoboMaker, Nebius's cheap GPUs, or Google's TPUs, you've got options. Drop a comment with your favorite cloud platform or any questions. I read them all. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more startup tech tips. Let's keep building the future. See you in the next one.